6 isometric exercises that the Japanese practice every morning to never lose leg strength after 50. In Japan, it's common to see people in their 80s, 90s, and even over 100 years old, walking alone, squatting, climbing stairs, and maintaining real physical independence. Meanwhile, in the West, the truth is harsh. Many people at 60 can no longer climb a flight of stairs without stopping, feel weak legs, lose balance, and start depending on support for everything. This isn't age. It's premature strength loss caused by wrong habits, or by the total absence of them. The Japanese don't do anything extraordinary, don't live in the gym, and don't lift absurd loads. They preserve leg strength with simple exercises, using only their own body weight and consistency. This is exactly what keeps muscles active, joints stable, and legs strong over the decades. That's why today, you'll see 6 isometric exercises that the Japanese practice daily to never lose leg strength after 50, and understand why ignoring this now demands a high price sooner than you imagine. Before we begin, please tell us through the comments your name and the city where you're watching our content from. We'd love to know. Exercise number 6. Viperita Karani. Viperita Karani, known in the West as legs up the wall, has been practiced in Japan for centuries as a way to restore circulation and deeply rest leg muscles. This isometric position works in a passive but extremely effective way, the core stabilizer muscles, quadriceps, and calves while promoting venous return. The main benefit of this exercise lies in reversing gravity. When you elevate your legs above your heart, blood that was accumulated in the lower extremities returns easily to the trunk, relieving swelling, reducing the sensation of heaviness, and improving oxygenation of all muscles. The muscle groups mainly worked are the core stabilizers, which need to maintain aligned posture, and the posterior leg muscles, which remain in light isometric contraction during the entire hold. To execute correctly, lie on your back on the floor with your hips close to a wall. Elevate your legs and rest your heels on the wall, forming an angle of approximately 90 degrees between trunk and legs. Arms remain relaxed at your sides, palms facing up. Keep the lower back neutral without forcing the region against the floor. Breathing should be slow and deep, allowing the abdomen to expand naturally. A valuable tip is to place a low cushion under the hips to slightly elevate the pelvis, which intensifies venous return and reduces any lower back discomfort. The main errors to avoid are positioning the hips too far from the wall, which drastically reduces the exercise's effectiveness, forcing the lower back against the floor causing unnecessary tension, and holding your breath from nervousness or discomfort. Maintain the position for 3 to 5 minutes initially. With regular practice, you can extend to 10 to 15 minutes. Do it once in the morning and once at night. Exercise number 5. Horse stance. The horse stance, called kibadachi in Japan, is one of the pillars of isometric resistance training in Japanese martial arts and was incorporated into the morning routines of many elderly people as a way to maintain functional leg strength. This exercise intensely recruits the quadriceps, glutes, adductors, and the entire core stabilizing chain. The central benefit lies in the capacity to develop real muscular endurance, the kind you use daily to squat, stand up, climb stairs, and maintain balance on irregular surfaces. After 50, loss of quadriceps strength is one of the main causes of falls and fractures. When the quadriceps weakens, you lose the ability to control descents, to rise from low chairs without support, and to absorb impacts when walking. This means greater risk of serious injuries and progressive loss of autonomy. The glutes, in turn, are essential to stabilize the pelvis and protect the lower back. Weak glutes result in chronic back pain, postural imbalances, and difficulty performing simple movements like getting in and out of a car. To execute the horse stance correctly, stand with feet shoulder width apart or slightly wider. Rotate the tips of your feet slightly outward, about 15 to 30 degrees. Flex your knees and lower your hips as if sitting in an invisible chair, keeping your thighs as close as possible to parallel with the floor. Weight should be distributed evenly between the heels and front part of the feet. Keep your trunk erect, shoulders relaxed, and gaze forward. Knees should point in the same direction as the feet, never converging inward. Arms can be extended forward for balance or crossed over the chest. Start holding the position for 20 to 30 seconds and rest for 45 seconds. Do 3 to 4 repetitions. Over time, gradually increase to 45 to 60 seconds of hold. Main errors include allowing the knees to excessively surpass the line of the feet, which overloads the patellar joint, leaning the trunk too far forward, losing core activation, and placing all weight on the toes instead of maintaining it on the heels. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will make you progress with long-term health in the world of bodybuilding. Exercise number 4. Isometric LSIT. The isometric LSIT is an absolute strength exercise that the Japanese adapted from gymnastics practices to strengthen the core, hip flexors, and anterior thigh muscles. Although it seems simple, this movement demands intense neuromuscular coordination and offers benefits that go far beyond pure strength. The LSIT mainly works the rectus abdominis, obliques, iliopsoas, rectus femoris, and quadriceps, besides recruiting shoulder and triceps stabilizers to maintain posture. After 50, weakness in hip flexors is directly linked to difficulties climbing stairs, entering high vehicles, and even tying shoes without losing balance. To execute the LSIT, sit on the floor with legs extended forward. Position your hands beside your hips, fingers pointing forward, and press the floor forcefully. Intensely contract the abdomen and elevate hips and legs off the floor, keeping legs straight and parallel to the floor. Shoulders should be away from ears, shoulder blades slightly depressed. Gaze remains forward. If you can't elevate both legs initially, maintain only the hips elevated with heels still touching the floor. This is a perfectly valid and effective progression. Over time, you'll gain enough strength to completely elevate your legs. Start holding the position for 10 to 15 seconds, rest for 45 to 60 seconds, and repeat for 3 sets. Progress by increasing hold time in 5-second increments each week until reaching 30 to 40 seconds. Main errors are excessively curving the back seeking, elevation, which transfers dangerous tension to the spine, elevating shoulders toward ears, losing scapular stability, and holding your breath instead of maintaining a controlled breathing pattern. Contraindications include acute wrist injuries, shoulder tendinitis, untreated abdominal hernias, and serious lower back problems like herniated discs in acute phase. Exercise number 3. Isometric calf raise. The isometric calf raise is an exercise that the Japanese practice religiously because they understand something many in the West ignore. The calf is the body's second heart. This muscle, formed mainly by the gastrocnemius and soleus, has the crucial function of pumping blood back to the heart against the force of gravity. When you contract the calf, it compresses the deep veins in the legs and propels blood upward. Without this efficient pumping action, blood accumulates in the extremities, causing swelling, sensation of heaviness, varicose veins, and even thrombosis in more serious cases. After 50, calf strength is directly related to balance and fall prevention. To execute the isometric raise correctly, stand with feet hip-width apart, preferably with the front part of your feet supported on a step or elevated surface of 2 to 4 inches and heels suspended in the air. If you don't have a step, execute on the floor itself, but amplitude will be less. Elevate your heels as high as possible, staying on your tiptoes. Intensely contract the calves at the top of the movement and hold this position. Imagine you're trying to touch the ceiling with your heels. Weight should be on the base of the toes, mainly on the big toe and second toe. Start holding at the top for 20 to 30 seconds. Rest for 45 seconds and do 4 sets. Progress to 45 to 60 seconds as you gain strength. Main errors are elevating heels only partially without reaching maximum contraction, transferring excessive weight to hands losing overload on calves, and swaying the body instead of maintaining stable position. Contraindications include plantar fasciitis in acute phase, Achilles tendinitis, recent ankle fractures or sprains, and serious balance problems that could cause falls during execution. Exercise number 2. Isometric free squat. The isometric free squat is considered by the Japanese the king of lower body exercises. It's no exaggeration. This movement simultaneously recruits quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, adductors, spinal erectors, and all core stabilizing muscles. It's the exercise that most closely approximates daily functional movements: sitting, standing, squatting to pick something off the floor, climbing stairs. The strength developed here directly translates into autonomy and quality of life. When the quadriceps loses strength after 50, you literally lose the ability to control your own body weight. Descending stairs becomes frightening because you can't safely break your body. Rising from low chairs becomes a challenge requiring hand support. Squatting to tie your shoe becomes impossible. The glutes, being the largest muscle in the human body, are responsible for stabilizing the entire pelvis and protecting the lower back during any movement involving hip flexion or extension. Weak glutes result in chronic lower back pain, gait imbalances, and even knee problems because lack of pelvic stability overloads other joints. To execute the isometric squat correctly, stand with feet shoulder width apart, tips slightly open outward. Begin the movement pushing your hips back as if sitting in a chair. Flex your knees and descend in a controlled manner until thighs are parallel to the floor, or as close to this as you can achieve without pain. In Japan, ideal depth is when the hip crease is at knee height. Keep chest open, gaze forward, and lower back neutral. Knees should point in the same direction as feet. Weight is concentrated on heels and medial part of feet. Hold this position. Start holding for 20 to 30 seconds. Rest for 60 seconds and do 3 to 4 sets. Gradually increase to 45 to 60 seconds. Main errors include allowing knees to collapse inward, which dangerously overloads ligaments, rounding the lower back, losing neutral position and putting the spine at risk, and transferring all weight to the toes instead of maintaining it on the heels. Contraindications are acute knee pains without diagnosis, lumbar disc hernias in inflammatory phase, advanced knee osteoarthritis without medical supervision, and serious balance problems. Exercise number 1. Isometric glute bridge. The isometric glute bridge is the exercise that completes the full leg strengthening cycle in Japanese tradition. While the other movements mainly focus on the anterior and lateral chain, the bridge intensely works the posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings, and spinal erectors. This exercise is fundamental because most people completely neglect the back of the body, creating muscular imbalances that lead to pain, injuries, and loss of functionality. To execute the isometric bridge, lie on your back on the floor with knees flexed and feet supported on the ground, hip-width apart. Heels should be close to glutes, about 12 to 16 inches away. Arms remain relaxed at your sides, palms down. Press heels against the floor and elevate hips, intensely contracting glutes until forming a straight line between knees, hips, and shoulders. At the top of the movement, glutes should be completely contracted. Avoid elevating too much, excessively arching the lower back. Activation should come from glutes, not the lower back. Maintain this position. Start holding for 20 to 30 seconds. Rest for 45 seconds and do 3 sets. Progress to 45 to 60 seconds. Main errors are excessively arching the lower back instead of using glutes to elevate hips, not elevating enough, keeping hips too low and losing muscle activation, and forgetting to actively contract glutes at the top, relying only on position. Contraindications include lumbar disc hernias in acute phase, intense lower back pain without diagnosis, serious cervical problems preventing head support on the floor, and recent hamstring injuries. Now that you know the 6 main exercises, let's move to the bonus movement. Bonus exercise, resting squat. After strengthening legs with the 6 isometric exercises we showed, there's an additional movement that the Japanese practice not only in the morning, but throughout the entire day as an active rest posture. The resting squat, or sustained deep squat, is a position that in Japan you see from children to centenarians maintaining naturally while conversing, waiting for transportation, or simply resting. In the West, we've completely lost this ability. Most people can't even achieve this position without falling backward or feeling intense pain in knees and ankles. This exercise works deeply: the quadriceps, glutes, adductors, calves, and all hip stabilizing muscles, besides promoting exceptional mobility in ankles, knees, and hips. The main benefit of the resting squat lies in its capacity to maintain healthy joints through complete range of motion. When you remain in this position, you're nourishing the cartilage of knees and hips with synovial fluid, improving joint lubrication and preventing stiffness. After 50, loss of joint mobility is as harmful as loss of strength. Stiff joints limit your movements, cause dangerous compensations in other body regions, and drastically increase injury risk. To execute the resting squat, start standing with feet slightly wider than shoulder width, tips of feet pointing outward about 30 to 45 degrees. Squat as low as you can, ideally until glutes touch or almost touch heels. Heels should remain completely supported on the floor during entire execution. Trunk leans slightly forward, but chest remains open. You can join hands in front of your body or rest them on knees for balance. Elbows can press lightly on the inside of knees to open them and facilitate the position. Maintain this posture, breathing deeply and naturally. Start maintaining the position for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Practice 2 to 3 times daily. Over time, you'll be able to remain comfortably for 3 to 5 minutes. Main errors are allowing heels to leave the floor, transferring all weight forward, and overloading knees, completely rounding the lower back instead of maintaining a slight natural trunk lean, and forcing the position, causing pain in knees or ankles instead of respecting your current limits and progressing gradually. Contraindications include acute knee injuries like ligament or meniscus ruptures, severe knee osteoarthritis without medical supervision, serious ankle problems limiting dorsiflexion, and intense pain during execution indicating joint overload. If you enjoyed this and want to also discover the 10 daily habits that force your body to gain more muscle mass, we've left a video appearing right now on screen showing each of them better. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching until here, and may God bless you, my friend.